Grandma wanted to celebrate her birthday with a quiet dinner, but our family insisted on going all out. But they didn't just steal her birthday, they abandoned her at the table when the bill arrived. No one messes with my grandma, not even relatives. My grandma always has freshly baked cookies on hand, never forgets a birthday, and somehow makes every family gathering feel like home. If anyone deserves the perfect holiday dinner, it's her. So when she mentioned that she wanted to have just a small dinner this year, I was all in. She turns 85 this year, and that's a big deal. A quiet evening with good food and loved ones? Sure. But of course, the rest of the family had other plans. Grandma deserves something spectacular, Aunt Linda said in our family chat. Not some boring dinner. The rest of the family insisted on taking Grandma to the nicest restaurant in town, which might have seemed like a sweet gesture if they weren't doing it all for themselves. Our weekly Sunday turned into a circus. I went outside to get some rest, and then I heard my cousin Katie scheming with her brother Mark. Seriously, Jade wouldn't say no, Katie whispered. She works at a bank. She has a lot of money. She lives alone. No kids. What else does she spend her money on? Mark snorted. Exactly. We just have to keep calm until the bill comes. Then we'll play dumb and she'll take it. I froze in place. Oh, so that was the plan. Blow up Grandma's birthday into a big deal and let me foot the bill while they sat there making faces. What about Grandma? Mark asked. Maybe I should tell her to bring her wallet, too? You know, just to be on the safe side. Katie laughed. Please. She'll still insist on paying. She always does. But dear cousin will jump in and save the day, because she's such a hero. I felt my face flush with anger. To use my grandmother like that? On her birthday? I would gladly pay to give my grandmother the night of her dreams. But to be played with like an open wallet? No way. Okay, let's see what happens, I thought, retreating inside. That evening I picked up my grandma and we drove to the most beautiful steakhouse in town. Grandma was clutching her little purse and smiling like it was the best day of her year. Meanwhile, the rest of us were acting like we were at a celebrity party. Katie was taking photos non-stop for aesthetics, posing with every drink and snack. Mark sampled every expensive whiskey on the menu, loudly proclaiming himself a connoisseur to our server Miguel, who earned a medal for his patience. Aunt Linda loudly recommended the most expensive options to anyone who would listen, while Grandma beamed. This is wonderful, she whispered to me. I didn't expect such a fuss. I'm glad you're having a good time, Grandma. I smiled and squeezed her hand briefly. I hoped that the joy she was feeling right now would somehow make up for the betrayal I knew was coming. Meanwhile, I watched my family order bottles of wine instead of glasses, the most expensive cuts of meat, and every side dish on the menu. I watched the bill grow with each order, mentally calculating their pattern. I ordered modestly, a simple fillet and a glass of house wine. Grandma did the same. Are you sure this is all you want? Uncle Joe pressed. This is a special occasion. Live a little. I smiled tightly. This is perfect for me. Then came the test. Grandma just went to the toilet, and the show began. Oh, wow, Aunt Linda said, staring at the bill as if it were written in a foreign language. Look at that amount. I'd help, but, you know, we're still paying off that timeshare from 2 years ago. Katie shook her head, suddenly preoccupied with her manicure. I spent all my savings on concert tickets. You know how important live music is to my mental health. Mark sighed dramatically, as if he were auditioning for a soap opera. My dog has stomach problems and the vet bills are crazy. I'm practically broke. Uncle Joe held out his hands and grinned, his gold watch sparkling in the light. We all agreed that you could do this, Jade. You've almost paid off the house, right? And you have the best job of all of us. You know how to succeed. We'll support you, emotionally. And then Aunt Linda plucked up her courage and made a reproach. Oh, come on, it's for Grandma. It's her big day. We might not have any left, you know. I looked around the table. So much confidence. All this guesswork. The total was over $800, and theirs was $650. My blood was boiling, but then Grandma came back from the bathroom. I wasn't going to ruin her dinner by arguing over the bill in front of her. I said, I'll take care of something now and then we'll get back to our conversation. And I left, heading towards the manager's office. I left after about 15 minutes and returned to the table. Grandma sat there alone, clutching her purse and looking around the room with wide, frightened eyes. The rest of my family was nowhere to be seen. I knew they were planning on not paying the bill, but to stoop so low as to abandon my grandmother on her birthday. That was just cruel. Grandma, are you okay? I asked, sitting down in my seat. There you are. Grandma said, relief spreading across her face as I joined her. Everyone just got up and left. They said something about getting the car ready, but it's been 10 minutes. She leaned over and spoke in a serious whisper. Are we all right, Jade? Is everything paid for? I can pay for something if you need it, honey. I don't have much money on me, but I've been saving it. I wrapped my arms around her shoulders, rage rising in my chest that they had left her confused and worried on her special night. Don't worry, Grandma. Everything is under control. We took our time while the staff did other things. Miguel brought a complimentary dessert for Grandma, a beautiful chocolate cake with one candle. The entire staff sang for her. Grandma still looked a little worried, but I promised her that everything would be taken care of. What about the others? She asked as I drove her home, the stars twinkling above us. They probably needed somewhere else to be, I said, keeping my tone light. It's a shame, but I have to admit I'm glad I got to spend most of the evening with you, Grandma. You had a nice holiday dinner, didn't you? She nodded, but I could see that she was offended. This made me even more angry. When the angry phone calls started the next morning, I was ready to gloat over my selfish and thoughtless family, who thought they could get away with hurting Grandma. The first call I answered was from Aunt Linda, screaming that the restaurant was harassing them for their bill. They've called 3 times already. How dare they? It's your fault, isn't it? Katie left me a 3-minute voice note accusing me of ruining the mood at her grandmother's birthday party. We were just about to pick up the car. We were about to come back. You're being so dramatic. Mark wrote that I was a traitor for informing on the family. His subsequent messages became more and more panicked with each passing day. Uncle Joe wanted to know if this was some kind of joke, because now the restaurant was threatening to sue. Fix it. Now. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. It turned out that the manager of this steakhouse was my old college buddy Eric. As they made their dramatic exit through the kitchen door, clearly visible on the CCTV, I made sure Eric had all their contact information. Full names, phone numbers, addresses. He only charged me for my grandmother's and my share of the dinner. And the rest? Oh, yes. He'll collect from them directly, with interest, if they continue to shirk his services. Grandma called later to thank me again for the evening. I just wish your cousins would disappear like that, she said. It was such a nice dinner until, well. I just smiled, imagining Katie's face when she received the official demand for payment. Don't think about it, Grandma. They won't do anything like that again. And next year? Grandma and I will celebrate her birthday somewhere really nice and quiet. Just the 2 of us. And I'll leave my phone on silent. Write in the comments what you think about the heroes of our story and subscribe to our channel.